Coming up on Mountain News this morning, some folks in Letcher County are worried about longer response times after one EMS group leaves the area. And officials want parents and teens to be aware of how to stay safe on the roads as we enter the 100 deadliest days of summer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. We are halfway through that working week. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this June 4th. It is 6:31 this morning, and Megan, we know that the fog is making a comeback today. For that, I am not thankful.
No, I'm not thankful. But the good news is, as you start the day and as you finish the day out, you're going to see those nice and warm temperatures. In fact, as you're heading out the door, you can expect mostly the 60s, even seeing some upper 60s throughout the region. 69 in Jackson. A little bit cooler as you travel towards Clintwood. Only 53 degrees, but even that is not too bad of a way to start off the day. Forecast highs, though, are going to be very warm. We're talking upper 80s from Monticello all the way to Logan. And we'll see those warm temperatures starting to trend downwards, or I guess cool down as we're heading into the weekend, seeing low 80s on Saturday. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar, nice and clear, a trend that will continue throughout the remainder of your day. And as Amelia mentioned, we do have some fog as you're heading out the door, so be careful and drive safe this morning. Amelia.
WYMT is investigating the apparent closing of Letcher EMS services. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino reports on what we know so far.
WYMT has received multiple emails and Facebook messages with concerns about Letcher County Ambulance Services reportedly closing its doors. We have received reports that the Letcher County Ambulance Services in Jeremiah, Kentucky have been suffering from financial hardships for quite some time, causing it to shut down its services. Officials say their license is still valid, however, they are not using it. A board member with Letcher Fire and Rescue told me Letcher County Ambulance Services has been out of service since at least last Monday. A member of Neon Fire and Rescue also told me as of now, they are taking over ambulance coverage until other accommodations are made. However, we are told by community members there are concerns about emergency medical response time, leaving folks, especially in the lower part of Letcher County, anxious about response times and the overall effectiveness of medical services. We have reached out to several county officials to learn more about the case, including Letcher County Ambulance Services, Judge Executive Terry Adams, who declined an interview, Neon Fire and Rescue, and those that are concerned over the matter. We will keep you updated as we learn more about the closure. Steve.
Well, we do hope to hear more from officials, and we will post updates on our website, WYMT.com. The 100 days between Memorial Day and Labor Day are known as the 100 deadliest days for teen drivers. This time brings an increase in teens driving, but according to officials with AAA of the Bluegrass, it also brings an increased risk of the teens in a car crash. Lori Weaver Hawkins has a reminder for parents of teen drivers this summer.
I tell parents, go over those safe driving basics, tell them to buckle up every time. Never drive distracted. You want to put the phone down and don't speed.
Weaver says this is a great time to remind your teens about ways to stay safe on the roads. She says this includes things like putting away your phone. Deputies in Laurel County responded to a disturbance on Ray Johnson Road Sunday. They say 34-year-old Brandon Anderson violated a protection order by getting too close to the petitioner. He reportedly went inside the petitioner's home without permission and refused to leave. He then started banging on windows after exiting the home. Anderson is charged with violating an EPO, DVO, and first-degree criminal trespassing. Two men face charges after a traffic incident in Clay County. A deputy was monitoring Kentucky 80 on May 30th when a car suddenly broke and drove behind a building. The deputy says 57-year-old John Smith of Manchester and 45-year-old Henry Smith of Corbin got out and ran. After a short chase, both men were found hiding in a bush nearby. They were arrested and charged with third-degree fleeing or evading police. A London man is facing several charges after a dangerous incident on the Hal Rogers Parkway. Deputies say 33-year-old Lyle Hammonds was driving without headlights in the dark and weaving in and out of traffic near the intersection with US 25. When officers tried to pull him over, he refused to stop, nearly hitting a police cruiser during the chase. Hammonds was eventually taken into custody and is charged with fleeing police, one endangerment, and other traffic violations. A Corbin man is accused of causing a disturbance in Laurel County. Deputies say 51-year-old Jamie Hicks was arrested Monday night off Kentucky 312. That's about 8 miles south of London. Deputies say they found Hicks acting out and learned that he'd been causing trouble even before they got there. He's charged with second-degree disorderly conduct and menacing and was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. 2 people from Corbin face charges after deputies say they were intoxicated while caring for children in Laurel County. It happened Monday night off Laurel Whitley Road, where officers say the pair tried to drive while impaired but ended up in a ditch. Deputies also got reports that children were playing in the road and jumping out in front of cars. Brian Scott Bowling and Bethany Collier were both charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. DCBS took custody of the 3 children. The Dickinson County, Virginia Sheriff's Office is asking for help locating a missing man. If you take a look at your screen, you can see 49-year-old Adam Elmer Stanley, who was last seen Saturday. He's described as 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing approximately 280 pounds. He has brown hair that's shaven and blue eyes. At the time he went missing, he was dressed in either a black or blue tank top, a black denim shirt, and white shoes. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Dickinson County Sheriff's Office at 276-926-1650 or call 911. With graduations happening throughout the region, it's important to keep celebrations safe. A big question at hand is who is liable if something goes wrong. This includes who would be liable if someone gets injured, problems caused by guests who might be under the influence, and underage drinking. Kentucky State Police Trooper Matt Gayhart says if you are hosting a party, you need to be sure to keep things safe.
When it falls back on the parents, whoever supplies the alcohol, they need to ensure that they are maintaining its integrity as well and keeping it out of the hands of our youth. Just overseeing and with supervision, making smart decisions, making sure that that these children aren't getting out and doing things that they're not supposed to be.
Above all, Trooper Gayhart says it is important to make sure your guests are taken care of while enjoying graduation party festivities this year. With the national pause phased out of operations for Job Corps programs, area facilities are also seeing the impacts. Students, members, and workers at the Carl D. Perkins Job Corps Center are dealing with the unknown after the Department of Labor announced all programs will be paused by June 30th. WYMT is working to speak with students at the facility, but they are unable to leave the campus as part of their program agreement. Security does not allow reporters on campus either. We hope to speak with some of the students virtually and will continue to share updates as they become available. 7 people are recovering after a weekend car crash in a popular tourist spot. Gatlinburg officials say a medical emergency led to multiple cars being hit. Spray paint on the sidewalks and marks on the road are all that's left from the incident now. The Highway Patrol said a minivan sped up on the parkway after the driver had a medical emergency. That van hit several cars before coming to a stop. Those in Gatlinburg at the time say they heard loud crashes and saw people running.
We didn't know what the actual situation was, and I didn't know idea what had actually happened because it was like 1 second it was a clear, you know, your normal little bad traffic in a strip of Gatlinburg, and then all of a sudden this happened.
It's not known how serious the injuries were.
Well, this morning we're off to a little bit of a warmer start than what we saw earlier this week. In fact, we're seeing temperatures in the 60s from Monticello 65 to Logan 66. Now it is a little bit cooler as you're traveling towards Jonesville. 57 degrees, but we'll continue to see those temperatures warming up, so you can expect overall warmth into the upper 80s this afternoon. Here's a look at those forecast high temperatures, and it's going to be a warm one, seeing 89 degrees as you're heading towards portions of Pikeville and also 89 in Manchester. We'll see nice and sunny skies all day long. A little bit of clouds joining us as we're heading into the afternoon, looking at mostly sunny skies. And then by the time we're heading overnight, partly cloudy skies will take over with rain chances picking up for your Thursday. Here's what you need to know if you're traveling today. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s this morning with those clear skies, sunny skies as you're heading into the afternoon, with temperatures approaching 80 degrees by the time you're heading into the evening. That's when we're looking at those mid to upper 80s, looking at sunny to mostly sunny skies. Amelia.
Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:40. Forbes released its annual report on the world's richest women, of course, features some of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood.